Hi traders, it's your one and only skill coach Tim Lage, and I'm super excited having you all here today on this one. Alright, so in my previous video I posted a video and the trader dropped a comment requesting that I teach you guys the strategy that I'm currently using to grow the account I told you guys I'm currently growing on, because you will observe that I trade using just little lot size, and I told you guys it's because I'm currently growing an account. All right, so now you would observe that I'm currently on another trade with another good entry, so I decided to use this opportunity to show you guys how I did it, how I take my entries, what I look at before I trade. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I usually do when I get into the chart is to go straight to my 1 hour time frame. So you can use the 1 hour time frame, you can also use the 4 hour time frame depending on whichever one you want to use. But the main reason why I go to a higher time frame first is to identify the trend of the market. Now when you identify the trend of the market, the next thing you want to identify also is what is the market currently doing. These things are meant to be answered on the higher time frame. So for instance, using the 1 hour time frame, I can see that this market is an uptrend. All right, is an uptrended market. Okay, so we can see clearly that something is actually happening recently here, which is the fact that market has currently broken out of this trend line. But I wouldn't want to talk much about that for now. I just want to show you what you want to observe on a higher time frame. So on the higher time frame, you have observed, okay, it's an uptrend. Then the next thing you want to ask yourself is, even though it's an uptrend, what is currently happening? Is it an uptrend that is currently trending to the upside, or is it an uptrend that is currently experiencing what we call a pullback? Okay, so I believe you all should know what's the meaning of pullback. If you use market structure, you get to observe we have high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. All right, so when market is pulling back, that's what we call a pullback. Okay, so this is what you want to observe on your higher time frame first. In a higher time frame, if you get to observe that the market is currently on a pullback, that means if you're going to trade that market that day, you should look forward to selling instead of buying. Yeah, because I know oftentimes we all say things like, if it's an uptrend in a higher time frame, just look for only buying opportunities. No, you don't just look for buying opportunities because it's an uptrend in a higher time frame. Because if you want to only look for buying opportunities in an uptrending market in a higher time frame, that means you only have to wait for opportunities to place a buy. And if the market was currently here and going on a pullback, it means you're gonna have to wait for a long time, and we all know that between here to here is going to take like about a day or so, and you don't want to wait a whole day to trade. So if the market is currently on a pullback phase, is a time to place selling opportunities. Okay, so now the next thing you want to do is to go to a lower time frame. So you can use the 30-minute time frame to observe what is the market currently doing. So based on my analysis, I got to figure out that, okay, price had come to a pullback phase. All right, and it's just now I'm even observing that it broke the trend line, but I wasn't even looking at the trend line at the first place. What I was actually looking at is what we call supply and demand. The strategy that I'm currently using is supply and demand. That is to say, I'm looking for demand zones or supply zones to trade from. So how did I take this trade, which I took here, which is currently heading to my TP level? So before I go straight into that teaching, I want to lock some profits. So if you guys remember my last video, I told you want to always calculate how far has price gone. So based on what I can see, price has currently gone 120 points. So which means I can lock at least 80 points. So I can actually lock all the way to here. Let me see. Can actually lock all the way to here, but for me, I feel it's not going to be so safe to lock here because price is still playing around. So I will lock somewhere around 60 points. So that's what I'm going to do. So in this case, I give price a breathing space. So if you want to see how long how huge the space is, you're gonna see the space that I have given price. I've given price a lot of space to play around before it can ever get to my stop loss. So in this way, after playing around, it continues. That's the anticipation. Yeah. So now, how did I take this trade? What did I see to take the trade? Now, there's something we call supply and demand candlesticks and all the rest. Yeah, I wouldn't want to say much on this video, so it wouldn't have to be so long, but this was what I saw. This is a supply and demand candlestick where you have the rejection candle very long and you have the little body. All right, then you have a massive strong bearish push. You can see the candle, how the candle was so strong that there was no much wick on the candle, and then the next thing happened, the bear still pushed down. So that zone became an important zone to look out for. So by the time I saw price come, I was actually expecting to place a sell somewhere here, but with the force I saw the bulls pushing and they even broke through that zone, then I realized that this is not going to be a strong supply for now. So the next thing I did was to look out for where is the next supply. So it's very important for you to observe the supplies available. One supplier to the next supplier to the next supplier. For instance, let's say you go to the market, you want to buy something. All right, so what do you do when you go to the market? You're gonna check the first store. If the first store is giving you a price that you can't afford, all right, or they're giving you some kind of high price and you feel there's still somewhere to get a cheaper price, what do? You go to another store. So that's exactly how it is. So since this supplier was not able to give me a good price, and confirmation to sell, and I saw price breakthrough, I began to check where is the next supply zone, and that is here also. So we could see what happened here. This was another good supply zone. You can see that candlestick I told you guys about and the strong push. That was the same thing that happened here. You can see this candlestick and the strong push. So that was where this guys tapped in from. Actually, because I wasn't online, I should have taken the trade from all the way from here. But when I came online and then found out that this supply zone was actually respected and pushed down, breaking back into the zone I was looking out for before, and then that was when I was looking for my confirmation candles. Then I could see the bulls showed up and the bears rejecting. Then I knew the bears have taken strength, and that was why I placed that sell here. That's why you can see the move really strong. Okay, so the next thing I'm anticipating is if the bulls are going to come in anytime soon and push back, they're going to have to struggle somewhere here. They're going to have to struggle somewhere here. Okay, they will have to struggle between the zones before they continue pushing. Else, the bears might likely want to push straight down, because on the higher time frame, in the 1 hour time frame, we can see that this is where we had the last let me just zoom in like this. This is where we had the last support in the past. So that's probably where they are anticipating to go hit another support in the future. So that's why I'm targeting my take profit somewhere around here. I hope you understand the logic, guys. So that's just simply the thing I looked out for to place this trade. There are still other confirmations you need for your supply and demand, but this is just one of it. So I hope you learned something. Use the comment section and let me know what you think. What question do you have? What would you like me to talk about in my next video? And don't forget to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button if this is your first time here. And in case if you're wondering what am I trading, I'm actually trading indices, the step index. And if you are wondering what kind of broker can you use to trade the step index, the boom and crash, the synthetic, the indices, I use the Deriv platform. The link is on the description of this video, the very first link. Click on it and create a free account, a free trading account to trade the synthetic. And I will see you on the next video. For the meantime, stay safe and keep winning.